Today's client didn't share much about his story. Hi guys, I'm Tom from Tom's Touch. I'm a men's massage therapist in Sydney, Australia, and this is client number 48 of 100. So client number 48 was a really nice guy. We can call him Brendan. Brendan's in his 30s. He was transiting through Sydney. He's just come back from overseas on a trip, and he actually lives in another city in Australia. He was also on alcohol. It's funny, I very rarely have alcohols, but this week I've had two. And so I went and saw him at his hotel in the city. And when he answered the door, he was in his jocks. He was just in his jocks, and that's how he chose to greet me. And as soon as I saw his body, it was obvious that his body had been through some stuff. He had a lot of loose skin, so he had lost a lot of weight. And he also had some scarring on his abdomen, had quite a prevalent scar on his chest, which might have been from, surgery. And he also had a number of tattoos. Some of his tattoos, were in memory of people who he's probably lost, and some were quotes, probably inspirational quotes that have meaning to him. The session itself was run of the mill as they come, and there wasn't a lot of chit chat. Brendan didn't really share much about himself, and that's fine. Most guys don't, to be honest. And likewise, when the session ended, we wrapped things up pretty quick, and I was out the door. I'm a curious person. I like learning about people. I like learning about people's stories. And that's why I enjoy so much what I do. And, people don't need to share much about themselves at all, but I am left just curious about Brendan. I'm curious about what he's been through. I'm curious about, what this experience meant to him. And I'm curious as to whether he got something positive from it and something meaningful from it. His choice to answer the door, just in his jogs, leading with his body, I think was such an interesting one. And I wonder if that was an exercise that he was doing in challenging some shame he might have around his body. Anyways, I'll never know Brendan's story, and that's okay. But perhaps he'll come and see me again sometime if he's ever in Sydney. Bye.